You know, there's one game throughout the years that I have heard people talk about one of the best games ever, best RPGs ever. Like, people just, when you mention RPGs, they mention this game. And that game, that particular game, is Chrono Trigger. So, again, couple of years ago, about 2 or 3 years ago, I bought the game on Steam. It was like $8 or something. I bought it on a Steam sale, $8. Yeah, I know people said like the Steam version isn't really all that good and stuff like that. It's missing things. It didn't come out, but I don't know. It played well enough when I played it, so I think it did. I think there's a couple of scenes that got cut out, maybe whatever. But overall, it was playable. I don't know why people act like it was like not playable. Worked just fine for me. But so I finally decided to sit down, play this game, see what everybody's raving about. One of the greatest games ever, and stuff like that. And after playing it, beginning to end, I gotta say, I get it. Yeah, no, like you hear a lot about games, and you think, no, there's no way it's that good. It can't be live. It can't possibly live up. It did. I think Chrono Trigger is one of those games that actually lived up to the hype of everything I've heard about it. You know, it came out on the Super Nintendo years ago. Then it got a PlayStation version. Then I got a DS version, and there's like a PC version now. You get it on Steam and stuff like that. So the game did release a couple of times. And when I finally decided, I've heard so much about this game that I'm gonna go ahead and sit down and it was an actually really good game. I enjoyed it. I loved it from beginning to end. I got it. I'm like, damn, I can't. This is a game that everybody like. There was so much going for it. It was just great. First of all, like a lot of the scenery was just hand drawn. It was beautiful. It was great. It was awesome. It just looked like art, like very artistic. It was great. The story was pretty good. I did like the story, the whole time travel aspect. Usually, you're like, what the hell's going on? What's going? You end up in the future, and you're like, what the f- happened? And you're like trying to figure out how the future ended up the way it did, and stuff like that. And everything about the battle system was really neat. I enjoyed the battle system; that was pretty cool. So, I mean, like I said, everything about this game that was hyped up about that people thought was so great, and they were right. So I would say one of the games that definitely lived up to the hype was Chrono Trigger. And I played a little bit of Chrono Cross. I think I got stuck at one point, and I didn't. I really wanted to go back and try because Chrono Cross was an interesting game. It just gets very confusing. And one day, when I decide to finally sit down and try this game again, I'm probably going to sit there and then just look it up online, like what to do. Like I had to do that with Chrono Trigger a bit. I had to be like, what the fuck am I supposed to do here? How am I supposed to beat this boss? And then like, excuse me. So thankfully, like I'm playing. I'm like, how the hell did people beat this game back in the day when we didn't have easy access to look stuff up like we do now? I mean, we didn't have Google when the game originally came out. How did people do this? They probably buy like the guide or something like that. But still, even if you didn't do that, how would you know? But I looked up a couple of things how to like beat something or how to solve something. That's just. But anyway, outside of that, great game. I understand the hype, and it definitely is. It definitely deserves the praise it gets from all the players. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say anything bad about the game. I'm sure somebody out there has. I'm not interested in that opinion. I'm just saying. But outside of that, really good game. And if you haven't played Chrono Trigger, you should.